I'm dying.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Left.
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah!
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome. Kicking it stateside here live on A2D Radio. Show brought to you by our good doc, Paul Vidal, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Find him on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com, LLC. You know him. He's got the two locations, Burlington, Cherry Hill. He's our doc. Make him yours. Again, Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy. So how are we doing, everybody? Brian, my good friend, my confidant, what's going on?
Oh, good morning, sir. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, just lovely. Just another brisk winter day in the city of brotherly love.
Yeah, man. If that intro that we got going on now for A2D doesn't get you pumped up on a Saturday morning, man, I don't know what will. So good stuff by the guys there. Loving what we're doing here. And welcome, everybody. It's a great day. It's going to be a better day, depending on some results this afternoon. But so far, so good. We woke up, so that's a good start. As our buddy Eddie says, anytime you wake up, that's a win. So
it's every day. It's a blessing, you know. And as far as you're concerned, your Arsenal boys, I know this is part of our poll that we'll get into and whatnot, but you got to be feeling pretty good. Since we last spoke.
I was going back and I was doing some serious soul searching, I guess, over the last couple months here and the roller coaster that has been Arsenal football. And you go back to, the second week in January where you lose that game to Burnley and it's like the sky is falling, the world's coming to an end. And then it wasn't so great right after that either, but you started to see little signs of life. And then something happened. And we've said it before, and we saw it just cost your coach his job. Mm-hmm. And Arteta finally took the reins. And I don't know who he talked to or what he said, but he said, listen, I need to get the guys I want to get on the pitch. He starts getting Smith Rowe out there. The entire face of this team has changed since then. And all of a sudden, the young guys, some of these veterans had actually stepped up. And they're playing good. I mean, they've won 6 in a row in the Prem. Yes, granted, we talked about losing the FA Cup and, some other things along the lines there. But like I said last week, I think that was a blessing in disguise. They don't need the FA Cup right now. Arsenal's sight shouldn't be on an FA Cup right now. We have enough FA Cups.
No,
it's time
the tides are turning.
Yeah, we got to find a way back into Champions League football, and there's only a few ways you're going to do that, and it's going to either be top 4 at this point, or it's going to be put some effort into Europa. We got a new man in town in Odegaard, which was phenomenal. I'm starting to see some movement on the transfer market to where they're getting some guys out. Obviously, the whole Ozil thing. There's a changing of the guard in town, and I think it's a good thing. And like you said last week, who would have thought 2 months ago out of, your boys, Chelsea, and our buddy Lord Walker in Liverpool, that all of a sudden in the last month and a half, Arsenal would be the most consistent team.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy how things change in this league, especially the past 2 years. I don't know. That's another thing that, that's happened since the last time we talked. Speaking of Chelsea, that, our topic last show was, do you think Frank Lampard is going to last the season? And what do you know? He lasts maybe another 4 days before he gets the sack.
I was going to say, I don't even think it was 48 hours since we did the show. Wasn't it? I think he was gone by Monday.
It was Saturday. They played Luton Town that Sunday. And yeah, you're right. It was like Monday.
He was going.
Tuesday.
Yeah, he was going. Yeah, he was going Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, so you're right. So less than 48 hours, and all of a sudden it's like, well, so I guess he's not going to last the season, I guess, and he's done. And they bring in Thomas Tuchel, Tommy Tukes, as I like to call him. German.
What
coach,
an interesting. Yeah.
Former Dortmund, PSG. I don't know if this is a kick in the ass to Timo and Kai and maybe make them feel a little more comfortable out there. And
I mean, he's got ties with Pulisic too. He coached Pulisic a little bit up at Dortmund, so
he coached Thiago Silva at PSG. So there's some familiarity all around. So I don't know what it is. I don't know. Again, what we were talking about in our little soccer chat on Facebook, Eddie's like, and Lord Walker mentioned this too. It's like Roman Abramovich, the Chelsea owner, he gets what he wants, and he likes the shiny new things. And Frank was kind of becoming the very stale, head coach, and
it's so stale.
And it's just like matter of the blink of an eye, you're gone. And again, I'm kind of torn because Frank Lampard was such a legend as a player. And, those supporters, the last game against Luton Town, he was in charge. They drop like $2,000 on this huge freaking poster banner to hang up at Stamford Bridge that say, Frankie, you're legend forever. You're our guy. And then the next day or 2 days later, he gets canned. So they wasted all that money on that banner for absolutely nothing. And you see the fans really just, what do they matter to Roman? He's sitting in wherever, Dubai, smoking a cig, drinking his Russian whiskey, or Russian vodka, just sitting back saying, "Hey, man, it's not working. I can do what I want. Yeah. I can't just sell off these guys that I paid, combined, these two German guys. I can't just get rid of them like that. They're ours. So I got to change the coach, if anything." So I don't know. There's been one game and it looked better. I think they strung together, I think 700 some passes, which is ridiculous not to score. I don't know. He's a class act. I know Frankie. He sent a text message to Tommy and was like, "Hey, good luck. I'll support you any way I can. Any questions, let me know." So class act guy, but I think you said that he needed one more step, I think, or another few seasons at maybe Derby before making the leap to a big club like Chelsea. So that's all I'm going to say on that. That was kind of stewing in my mind of what to say, because I'm still kind of torn, but I do like Tommy Tuchel because he got the best out of Pulisic when he was at Dortmund, and there's some familiarity there with the Germans on the team. So hopefully it's a kick in the ass, because they look pretty stale still around the net. They cannot finish worth a goddamn. So I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think your problem was Frank at all. We talked about it last week, and I don't want to harp on it too much more, but unfortunately he got the short end of the stick. And I warn the Arsenal fan base sometimes too, when they call out and they want to go buy every single player, because when you do that and you don't build that chemistry and it doesn't work right away, then you're just in the same spot that you were, if not worse, because now you spend all that money and you're still not doing anything with it. So, sometimes Frank was doing really good with those young homegrown players, and then, that success brought on the willingness to spend the money. And then unfortunately, maybe not to his liking, some of the guys were picked that didn't quite fit what he was trying to do, and it didn't seem to work. So,
right.
Arsenal just brings in Odegaard. I think that could be a nice fit for this team. I think he kind of fills a need, but I don't want to kill what they got going either too. We talked about that this morning in the one group, was like, yeah, I want to see him debut, but at the same time, Smith Rowe's been so hot. So are you going to take out the young, 20-year-old kid that's been carrying this team, that's won 6 straight with him starting at that position, and bring in the new guy off loan that may, is only trained with the team for a week? So, I know a lot of guys were talking that they would maybe hope to see him in like a late sub in a winning effort, which I absolutely agree with. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, again, he's gotten one training session and one game to kind of get who he wants. He saw one late training session and was like,
yeah,
I don't know. I guess this is the team I'll put out there. I've literally seen 2 hours worth of these guys play. I was
interested in Tuchel's selection, to be honest.
And it was weird. It was very weird.
It was an interesting selection. I mean, obviously, you knew you were going to see Silva because that was his boy last year at PSG. You figured you would see some of the mainstay guys. I thought the Havertz move was kind of interesting. And they were caught talking at halftime too. Like, I feel like he's really going to try to work with him and help him. But from what I saw in that game, Havertz is, I said it in the group text, man, Havertz is soft. He is super soft. Like, he is just not.
He's soft. He's slower than hell. I hope the Prem's not too quick for him at this point.
I don't know. I don't know if it's too physical for him, too quick for him. He just didn't look like, I don't know. He didn't have the face that I would want out of a guy I just paid that kind of money to.
Yeah.
Like, he looked very uncomfortable. He looked very like he felt like he was getting bullied around on the pitch. I don't know, man.
Get your weight up, son. Come on.
Yeah, he's got to hit the weight room or something.
Get him on that Leon Goretzka fucking program.
Yeah, so maybe that's what he needed. He needed to stop at Dortmund. I don't think he was quite ready for this.
Yeah, maybe he needed another stop too. But good morning to everybody. Chuck's chiming in. You got Drew, Mark, Eddie, of course, Pete, Greg, golfing, of course, in the morning. I'm guessing Greg is in somewhere warm all the time. He keeps golfing on Saturday and making me very upset.
Yeah,
if you're golfing this morning right now in 20-degree weather, God bless you.
Yeah, I'd rather be here.
God bless you.
And yes, Drew, Saka has been carrying them, but
yeah,
has been a big catalyst too. So the young boys, we've been calling it. I call it all the time. Play the young kids. Sometimes it's a good, not bringing the people in is the better thing. See what you have.
He's been the smart.
We'll talk about that too when we talk about the U.S. men's national team and how I'm actually happy with this selection for this game. It can't be the selection, obviously, when we're playing the bigger competitions, but for this game, this is a great selection because I'm seeing a lot of 1s and 0s next to these kids for caps, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, the January camp's always that little tester for some of these guys.
I'm going to give Greg Berhalter some credit today, which is going to be weird.
Stay tuned to hear that phenomenon.
That's going to be.
B. Willie chiming in, of course. The Footy Talk, thank you. Good morning to B. Willie. I'm looking forward to some of his picks later. I need to win some money.
Yeah, I'm with you, Drew. I do not want to try and buy. I don't like you. So you got to spend some money. You got to spend some money on your guys, and you got to bring in a guy occasionally. Like if Odegaard the loan really works out, maybe.
Yeah, you got to wait to see what Odegaard has. Again, another guy that I was very hard on him. Extremely hard earlier this year and last year watching him play because he was just like 16-year-old wonder kid who Real Madrid just like saw him play like one time and was like, yo, this kid's the real deal. And just stockpiling like Chelsea does and just loaning these kids out. And he's just never really come around. And of course I was hard. I saw him play for Norway that one game. And of course he shut me up pretty quick. He had 2 assists for Norway and I think a goal. So I had to sit down real quick. But the dude in the Prem, we'll see, man. I don't know. He's another smaller guy. He's going to rely on his quickness to succeed, I guess.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Eddie's talking about the Haaland to Chelsea rumors picking up steam.
It's going to happen. You know it.
I know. And like my deep down hopes was like Odegaard leads you to Haaland. Like you bring in Odegaard and then he has some success at Arsenal and he calls up his buddy and he's like, hey, this is where you want to come. But then you think of the logjam up top for Arsenal. I don't know. Obviously with Aubameyang signed.
Well, you'd have to get rid of him, I guess.
I guess so. I mean, like you have to move on from Aubameyang to bring in Haaland.
Pretty much.
I'm not at this point. What everybody keeps saying. I'm not ready to move on from Lacazette. I'm looking at the scoring leaders along in the league, and he's top 10 now. He's sitting there with 8 goals. He's been carrying us like Drew said to it as well. It's kind of unlocked Laka and Oba. Oba was playing well. I do want to say, with him, it's a shame that what's happening right now. Unfortunately, his mother's pretty ill. It's hitting him pretty hard. I think that's been hitting him hard all year. It wasn't talked about for a while. He really started to play well. He had that 2 goals, and now he's going to be missed again for this game, which is a big game. But, we talk about it all the time here, and things like family and all that come first. So hopefully she gets well. And
to Oba's mama.
Yeah, man.
Drew saying that's where investment for position players makes a difference for top 4. If you go back to our youth squad, adding Ozil, Sanchez, complement the likes of Theo, Jackie, Ramsey. Back when the Ox was the Ox back in the day, the good days of. That was the days where I really enjoyed watching Arsenal. With Theo and actually Jackie being healthy for once. Actually, speaking of Jackie, my brother texted me the other day and said that he scored a cracker for Bournemouth in his first game.
Yeah, he stays relevant, man. He's still around. The funny thing is pretty much all those guys have found a way to stay somewhat relevant. Ramsey's playing, outside of being injured again, he was playing well at Juventus. He's obviously lost some time with the emergence of our boy McKinney. So, and Ox. What happened to Ox? Is he hurt? Ox just there's no room for him right now. Like where's he gonna get time? I'm surprised he hasn't been like loaned out or something. But
you would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ox is he was playing at Liverpool a little bit.
Yeah, he actually got in. I saw him play recently. He was in one of their games that they had. One of the I think it was the FA Cup game actually. He started. So
what's up, Pove?
Yeah, Pove, what's going on, guys?
He said disagree. United. I mean, I would have said United too until I watched them play recently.
Well, see, that's my problem. That's my biggest fear.
Overreacting after one game.
It's not even an overreaction after the one game. It's the fact that I feel like that's a motivator. Like that was a bad time for Arsenal to have Man United lose.
Right.
It would have been better for them to come out and just to beat Sheffield like 3-0 and come into this game a little bit. I don't want to say they were overlooking Sheffield for Arsenal because Arsenal hasn't been a team that's quite worth overlooking somebody else for, I guess, at this point, although they have been in the last 6. But that's my biggest concern for this afternoon is that United is going to be a little bit fired up for this one. My, I guess, excitement is that we've already taken one from them. We're looking to do the double on them here, and we're at home. So we get a win at Trafford for the first time in 14 years earlier this season, at the point where the roller coaster was on its way up before it took that big dive down. But like we said, we're tracking back up that side of the roller coaster, and I hope it stays on the high end today, and we can find a way to get this dub. I mean, at this point, honestly, I would even take a draw. But you got to get something here. You got to get something out of today's game.
Absolutely. And, I think United may be a little pissed off a little bit, you go into a team or you're hosting fucking a team that's got one win on the season, and you kind of lay an egg and let them get a little bit of confidence rolling forward. I know that they're, if people aren't watching, we'll get into that in a little bit, but the Sheffield boys going back to back with the Manchester squads here. So, I don't know. It's an odd. Again, this league. That's all I'm gonna say. This league, you just see these crazy games. If you don't come to play, you're going to lose most likely.
Yeah, and
can't take some teams lightly, even though they're basically in the complete opposite ends of the table. But still, it's you show up not ready to play, you're going to get beat. That's what happened.
Yeah, City did go up in that one today too. Right now, it's halftime in all those games. They're up 1-0. I figured that might actually be a little bit worse. Gabby scores early, and in the 9th minute. But Sheffield's found a way to hang in it. So maybe Sheffield's finding something, man. They get this big win last week, and now they're at halftime they're only down 1-0 to a City team that's been in pretty good form of late. So you got to keep an eye, I guess, on Sheffield for that bottom 3 race. And if you're the other teams down there, you got to be careful, and you can't be dropping points yourself. Another game at halftime too. Fulham's up 1-0 on West Brom. So that's a big 6-pointer there for the bottom table. And it doesn't help that Newcastle won this morning, beating Everton, which is a little bit of a shocker. Can we talk about how Callum Wilson for $20 million, I don't know if it's $20 million, £20 million, whatever, needless to say, either way, was the steal of last transfer window?
Yeah, you play him in the right spot, he gets the job done.
Like, this guy he just keeps coming up big for this Newcastle team and scoring a lot of goals, and I did trade him away, and I'm still happy with that trade that I made. In our fantasy league, but
they don't get any production from Joe Linton at all.
No, Joe Linton experiment. I think that's long over. Your boy Ryan Fraser looked pretty decent today. He was getting up and down the pitch. He had some good service today.
He's looked a lot better in recent weeks. I feel like maybe he's actually buying into, not just being a dickhead and actually being a team player for once.
Yeah.
The Jeff Hendrick deal is looking like quite a little bit of a flop because he's been pretty ghost-like this year so far, not making as big of an impact.
He started off great.
Yeah, the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, me and your brother were fighting for him on the waiver wire, and then
that's right. He was the hot commodity.
And since then, I think I dropped him last week, 2 weeks ago. So yeah, he's definitely cooled off. He had a pretty tough foul today too that got looked at. It was a yellow. They got called a yellow, but it was VAR'd for a potential red.
Potential.
But other than that, yeah, he hasn't done a whole lot of late for that team.
Yeah, that's another thing. Good point, Eddie. Ever since SaintMaximin has gotten healthy, he just frightens me because he just looks like a bull in a china shop. Just his movement is very just spastic, but he gets the job done most times.
He's one of those guys, if he can figure it out a little bit more, like Adama Traore did last year, he could be so freaking dangerous. Like, he's so good, and he's been knocked a little bit too, but SaintMaximin, he's very young still, and he's just, you're right, he's very,
he's spastic.
I don't want to say Yeah, spastic. I didn't want to say sloppy. He's not sloppy, but he's. I mean, kind of like he's all over the place.
It could go hand in hand, I suppose.
He would be a very difficult player to coach because he's one of those guys where he's doing something and you're probably like, no. But then he's so talented and he's so quick and it ends up being good and you're like, all right, just
yeah.
Just,
what's another good word? Unorthodox, I guess, would be another good one. Where you're like, okay.
Yeah, all right, yeah, whatever works.
Steve is having a heart attack out there.
While we're in Newcastle talk too, it looks like Yedlin is on his way out.
Yeah,
heading over to Turkey to be rivaling Ozil over there.
Galatasaray.
Yeah, who is currently sitting second in the Turkish Super League. So
shocking.
That could be a nice move for Yedlin. Obviously, he had fell out of favor with the injuries and lost some time there in Newcastle. He needs to play.
It's not a terrible move. I would have liked him to see him maybe go back to the MLS, but
yeah, I guess with the question marks surrounding MLS right now, guys are probably not willing to do that, especially when you need to play, because there's no guarantees that they're playing at this point. So
yeah, that's a scary thought we can get into a little later.
Yeah. I didn't want to touch it too much yet because it's still like very fresh, but it is a possibility going forward. So
for all us MLS fans, it's not good, but yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. But I guess the big daddy of them all, poll question, our lovely poll question. Poll question today, brought to you by our good friends at All Campus on the Ocean City Boardwalk. You can find them online, allcampusoc.com. Use the promo code A2D. Get 15% off any online orders. Get your fresh Phillies gear. You know, I know all the Phillies boys out there. You guys are hype.
We're under 20 days. Under 20 days to pitchers and catchers, baby. Yeah.
You know, they got some sweet hats. I know Tommy was showing off his last night on the show. He got a really good, a dope-ass Phillies hat. So check them out online. If you can't get down to the OC Boardwalk, or you need a nice little, relaxer, walk on the beach.
Told you, yeah. Hop in that car. Get a nice little break from life. Take a ride down there. Tell them A2D sent you. Tell them Kickin at Stateside from A2D sent you. They'll hook you up with the 15% in-store, I'm sure. We talk about it all the time, you know.
Hells yes. But yes.
So, Drew, welcome. I wanted to welcome Drew. I want to say a quick welcome to anybody else from the Philadelphia Arsenal fan page. These guys are awesome, and they've allowed me to be a part of them.
He threw a dupe out there. There you go.
Yes, he is. He is one of your supporters as well. So Drew's a good dude, and everybody else that may be joining us from there, welcome as well. So big game today. I agree with what Drew agrees with.
I've seen a lot of pushback on the other way. I've seen Chrome said disagree. Jake said disagree as well.
Well, when you look at it, I mean, obviously, outside of probably some of the Arsenal fan base, most people probably are going to agree. Eddie, that's Eddie's buddy, Drew. Eddie was all over it before, so yeah, I knew. I don't even know if it is. I'm just assuming it is because we posted up there today, and
he did say, "What is this sorcery?"
Yes, that kind of made me think that it was him from the jump. So,
yeah, I see there's a lot of disagreeing. With,
I get it. You know, from the outside looking in, United is the safer pick. They've been a really good team of late, and
Bruno hasn't scored in like 4 games.
Yeah. Please don't put that on. Don't put that Bruno on me today. I don't. not only do I not want to have a loss today, but I don't want it to be because of fucking Bruno either.
You don't want to come in here next weekend ranting saying that fucking Bruno got another PK call.
Yeah. Arsenal's most hated United guy is now out the door. Speaking of more transfer talk, Jesse Lingard's gone, so I don't have his stupid face to have to worry about looking at.
Yeah,
he is
none
now
of this
joining West Ham
anymore. Score a goal.
How was that transfer to West Ham graded an A? It was graded like an A-, I think, by ESPN.
Jess Lingard scored 1 goal. It literally came up on my memories last year on the show.
How is that an A- transfer? Fuck, this is ESPN dropping the ball again when it comes to this sport. It drives me absolutely crazy.
He scored a year ago in the FA Cup, and I remember we had a rant saying that he did his stupid thing because he scored against the League One side. And it's like, bro, relax. Your 1 goal in like 2 years comes against League One side. Just relax, sit down, take a chill. Lord Walker is with us. Hello, disagree, but don't be wrong.
Yeah. Because that's what I'm saying. Like you disagree because obviously
the United hate flows more than seeing an actual Arsenal win.
Yeah,
that makes any sense.
They need to. Liverpool needs to continue to make up ground, and Arsenal winning today is huge for them if that can happen. So
the pool is back.
Yes. That puts them. That would put them within a win of jumping United back up into second place. So depending, obviously, on what Leicester does as well, but
yeah, I mean,
so it's so weird to see. Speaking of West Ham, so weird seeing West Ham at 20 games in the season sitting in that 5th spot.
I know. I like their squad though.
I do.
I'm not a huge David Moyes guy per se. But I thought the Jared Bowen signing last year was awesome, and this year they locked up Soucek, who can't stop scoring.
Hey, he's been phenomenal.
So they're pushing the right buttons.
Yeah,
they're making shit happen. But yeah, they're the highest London club, I believe, right now in the table.
They sure are.
Which, again, there's something that you would never probably say.
Yeah.
Like West Ham, that London team.
You would not think so.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff coming up today. We had some midweek games. We got a full slate today. Obviously, the games that are going on right now. We got Palace Wolves going on.
What a surprise. It's a 0-0 game.
That game is 0-0. Crazy. Like we said, City and Sheffield, that's underway as well. That's 1-0. They just started the second half in that one. Obviously, Gabby with the goal. And then, what was the other one? Fulham is leading West Brom.
Yeah. Cordova-Reed with the goal in that game.
Bobby Cordova-Reed.
Yeah, man.
Coming in clutch. But yes. And again, we'll kind of talk about any transfer news throughout the show. We got a little bit of U.S. men's national team action coming up tomorrow. Again, it's not like the big dog squad that we're going to be used to seeing going forward, but this is kind of a little bit of a tryout for some of these guys that are on the fence and on the brink and maybe wouldn't always get that senior team call up. So
we don't have a goalkeeper with an international cap out of the 3 guys. And I like it. I like it. Your boy Matt Freese is on the squad.
Yeah, because didn't somebody come out with an injury or something?
Yeah, I believe so. So they went with him. The kid from San Jose, JT Markinowski, and Matt Turner from New England. So those are the 3 keepers on the squad. And then in the mix of all that, they've made some really nice pairings. Like I said, I'm thrilled with who he brought. He brought a couple vets who need some time. In Long and Josie and Acosta, some guys and Legette's like the one guy who seems to be on every team, whether it's the full European squad or an MLS-based squad. This guy seems to be making, and he's been outside of that one game where they started him stupidly at striker, and he looked completely out of position.
Right? Yeah.
He's looked like he's belonged on every team that he's been a part of. So
he's like an upgraded Paul Areola.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. And then you brought a bunch of young kids, like half of freaking Orlando's on this team.
Daryl DK.
DK's on there. Andres Pereira's brought now that he said that he's going to select the U.S. So they brought him. Benji Michael is another guy who doesn't have a cap yet. That's 3 Orlando guys right there. Speaking of Areola was brought on. Chris Muller was brought on, so that's 4 Orlando guys.
Fringe guys, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like It's like a lot of good fringe guys, and if this was the first game we've played against Trinidad since that debacle, I wouldn't be thrilled about it. But we've had that win already. We got to play them back in 19. We got the 6-0 win. Aaron Long scored twice. Pulisic scored. We hammered them. We got that revenge game. That's over. It's done with.
Every game against Trinidad's revenge from now on out.
Yes, but like this one is more about the continuation and the growth.
Yeah.
We should know at this point who our 11 and almost our 18 is. It's all the guys playing in Europe, and we've talked about that. Yeah. We're good there. Now we got to find these guys, and we got to get a few guys fit to see, is Aaron Long still part of that team? I would love Aaron Long to be paired with those European guys. I would love Aaron Long to be playing in Europe, there's a lot of talks going on with that right now. So it might be about damn time that happens. I've been asking for it for since the day I met you, I think.
Are the Red Bull actually going to let him go this time?
I think so. I think you have to now that they finally actually brought in a defender, the kid from Miami that they brought in. I think it's time. I think they can do it. And it's only going to be a loan. And with like we were saying earlier too, with the MLS season in limbo, if you can get a few bucks and they'll pay half his salary or something for him to go over anywhere. I mean, if it's Liverpool, phenomenal. That's awesome. That would be really cool.
If he's training with just Liverpool and never even sees any action.
Yeah, if he doesn't have to see just to be over there training with them, I would be okay with that. To be training with any Premier League team. Like we talked about with Jordan Morris going to Swansea and a team that's actually competing in England to get up into the top flight. That's a big move for him.
I want to see if Jordy Morris is on the bench.
Yeah, I hadn't taken a look at what was going on so far today.
I know.
Speaking of
let's see. Swansea.
What's he up to today? I'm seeing if our boy
he's on the bench. He's on the bench.
He is on the bench.
Swansea, yes.
Nice.
And he may get some time because Swansea's up 2-0 early in the second half. So
that would be awesome.
He may make his debut, which would be sweet.
We'll keep an eye on that. I was seeing if our boy Hop scored today.
Matthew.
But Schalke's tied 1-1 with Werder Bremen, and neither goal came from an American. So
yeah, I'm just never going to watch.
Dortmund's up 3-1.
Okay, I was about to jump out the window if they were tied still.
No, they're up 3-1 on a Jadon Sancho sighting, 63rd minute goal, and then an own goal in the 75th. So they're up 3-1 on Augsburg, and Bayern is up 4-1 on Hoffenheim. So I got my Bayern pants on. I'm not going to stand up.
Boo.
They are on this morning.
They're on. I swear.
I swear I have pants on right now. I'm doing the double today. I got Bayern on now, and then obviously we got Arsenal coming up. So, and quick score alert too. We missed West Brom levels up with Fulham. They are tied 1-1 right now.
Ooh.
Bartley with a 47th minute goal.
There you go.
So the bottom teams, one of them needed 3 points out of this.
And they'll tie.
I was going to say a point does neither of them any good, and that's probably what will happen, because that's usually what happens with these bottom table teams, that no one can step up and get the dub.
That's
why they're down there. Yeah.
It's like Brighton. It's just ties. But it's good enough for them to stay up somehow. They always pull out like a little win here and there just to make them stay up in the table.
Yeah. Yeah, they get a strange little win.
But yes, another game later today, we got Southampton versus Villa, which is an interesting game because both teams kind of shit the bed in their last games. Villa, didn't see that coming, getting handled by Burnley.
Yeah, and they were in control of that game too, so that's what made it even worse. It's like, not only was it Burnley of all teams that have been, struggling pretty massively this year, but to be in control of that game early and then let that happen. There was a little controversy. Did you see the thing with Jackie? And it looked like he was yelling at Dean Smith. Yep. Somebody tried to make a big deal about it, and he was like, I wasn't yelling at my coach. He was trying to calm me down. I was yelling at the other guy, like, we don't have a problem here. Things are okay.
As days go on, I just respect Dean Smith.
Yeah.
Didn't he get sent off recently?
Yeah, Dean Smith don't play.
This guy he's a warrior out there.
It's just something about that name, Dean Smith, and being a good coach, I guess.
It goes hand in hand.
It goes hand in hand.
But yeah, that should be an interesting game. What else? I mean, tomorrow it's Chelsea, God damn it, against Burnley, coming off a good win. This just has loss written all over it. I don't even know.
The positivity from the Chelsea fan base right now.
How can I have positivity right now? There's just no way. There's no end.
I know. I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. It's been a long year on the Arsenal end from the time, or year and a half from the time we started all this to now. But
you were the guy on the ledge, and I simply moved you aside and took your spot.
Yeah, you didn't necessarily pull me off the ledge. I think the firing of Unai Emery finally was what actually pulled me off the ledge.
Right.
But yeah,
just a change. Change of something.
Yeah, and I was still looking, but you've definitely taken my spot. So
it's brutal, man. It's fucking.
It is. All games on Peacock tomorrow. I know. Get used to all games on Peacock every day, because
I was gonna say NBC Sports going downtown.
Yeah, and I don't know if the big boys are going to pick up the slack, and I mean ESPN pretty much owns every other soccer league's rights at this point, so why not just get the Prem?
ESPN, because I don't want Taylor Twellman calling Premier League games.
That's the thing, and it's not even him. Like, it's the level of guys. Like, they get these guys that just don't even know the sport, and they're like getting them to be the play-by. I don't know.
I don't need Alexi Lawless calling a Chelsea game, because I will punch him through the television. Fuck the cock. Exactly, Drew. I used to say that when we first had Peacock come out. It was fuck the cock. Now it's like, I have to have the cock. I'm wrong.
Ritter, what's up? Yes. No. Team Butters. Team Butters is where it's at. You guys are going down.
That is a nice plug, though.
If anybody wants to get into the A2D Royal Rumble pool, it's $20 a man. There's lots of different ways to win the money. You can check it out on all the A2D socials. Hit us up. Hit Ritter up directly. We will direct you to him if you can't get to him on your own. And he's opened it up to us.
Everybody.
Originally, it was going to be fans only, so I think I'm jumping into.
Oh, I already sent Andy my money.
Nice.
I'm in there. I hope I somewhat win something. My luck, I probably won't.
Well, I'm going to jump in for 22, and anything I win, I will roll into the show somehow. I'll roll it into I'll buy us something for the show,
We'll
or some more swag, or we'll get some kits. We'll go on away days, or we'll go to our boy, Philly Drinkers, get ourselves some gear. Maybe take a ride down to Ocean City, hit up all campus.
I mean, I used to love Royal Rumble. That's like the best wrestling thing, in my opinion. It's just absolute chaos.
It's just absolute chaos.
Grown men throwing each other out of a ring. I love it.
Men and women now.
That's true.
It's 2021 there, buddy.
Terrible habit to break.
Yeah,
I miss Sky too, Drew. But you know
get
what?
Yeah, watching Sky, yeah.
That was the good days, man. But they also only had like one game per day. Yeah, and if you're like a lower end team, like a Sunderland back in the day, you're not seeing your team unless you live in England.
Yeah.
But yeah, Peacock it is tomorrow. So get on that. $5. What is it? $3 a month?
$5. It's like $5.34 in New Jersey.
I complain about it because I'm just a fucking complainer, but
yeah, it's annoying every month. I see that little bit come out of my bank, but at the end of the day, it's really nice to have because they give you the replays too. You can go back and watch the games anytime. So for us too, with our having lives and trying to do what we do here and catch as many games as we can, I can't watch every game live. Obviously, I can't even watch some of these games live. I was going to throw one on now, but we've had those streaming issues where if I'm trying to watch a live game and do this, my internet cuts out. So,
boonies, come on!
Not trying to have internet gate. I don't anymore. I don't live in the boonies.
Oh, that's right. My mistake.
It's okay.
Peacock is free. Is it Peacock Premium?
Is Premium free with Xfinity? Don't be on here plugging Xfinity. Screw them all.
And you can watch The Office on Peacock for all you Office people out there.
Shameless Office plug.
That moved to the cock, yeah.
Just like the last thing the Office needs is a plug.
Yeah. Where's our plugs to help us out?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Speaking of plugs,
go for it.
While we're here, quick plug. Follow us. IG, Twitter, Facebook, Kickin at Stateside, at K-Stateside. You can find it. Look for the logo. Find us on A2D. Follow all the great shows on A2D. There's more later today, Sunday, Monday. There's not literally a day where you can't find a good show on A2D. So check everybody out.
Every day of the week for every walk of life.
Yeah, check out all our socials. Check out all the expansion we're working on here with New York and Los Angeles and Florida, Texas. Ritter down in Texas, holding it down there. So
the dirty, dirty South.
Yes. Yeah, but I love the fact that people check us out and all that, but it really only takes a minute to click that follow button, click that subscribe button.
It does help.
It does, and it's like I never want to be the guy begging for likes and all that. We talked about that. Tom talks about that all the time. I don't want to be clickbait. I don't want to be but it really does help. It goes a long way to grow us, and then the better it makes us, it just makes us more informative and able to do what we want to do better.
We just want to interact with all you guys. That's
we love you guys.
That's why we got into this, is to bring the beautiful game to everybody and not just talk about it amongst Brian and myself.
Mm-hmm.
We want to include everybody, and we got some cool stuff coming. That little contest for our Spurs fans, a little HK jersey action.
Oh, I told you, Drew, you have to win this. I'm not allowed to win it, Drew, but you can win it and you can burn it. Adam's not letting me.
Brian cannot win the Harry Kane jersey.
but you can, or any other Arsenal supporter out there, you can win this contest, please.
I might have to check your kits to make sure you're not. Might need to
Adam just doesn't want. He would feel bad if this jersey got used for kindling.
Yeah,
So he does not want an Arsenal fan winning this contest.
that defeats the purpose of the contest.
No matter what the prize is, it is a great contest. I will get. It's a good contest. It's cool that we're able to do these things. We're going to do a lot more.
We're figuring out the rules and whatnot, but we'll get back to you. Davey McGoldrick. They actually started Ryan Brewster today. Gave him a run out. Sheffield.
Yeah. Lord Walker is so hopeful right now that Sheffield stays in this thing.
Palace with a goal, as Drew said.
They're going to ruin his parlay. Ezzy, finally. He has not done too much.
He's on my bench, god damn it.
That's another young English kid with a lot of talent, man. Could you imagine, like, if he really figures it out and Saka figures it out, like, this England squad going forward with all – I mean, there's pieces all over the place, but just those two – have kind of caught my eye as like some of these like super young potential talents that could drive this English team.
Again, it's his first season in the Prem. He sort of gets it. He like that great goal, that solo goal he had a few weeks ago, where he just glided like a gazelle past like the whole team. It's glimpses like that makes, I guess, Palace DC fans a little excited, as the tables are turning and probably Wilfie Zaha's days might be numbered there in the next year or so. It's nice to have a guy that move. It's time. I think so.
They need the money.
We've been calling for it for a minute. I saw Max Meyer finally got released by them.
Yeah.
Flopper.
Where did he head? I was just looking at that.
I think he's Germany, right? On a free.
I had it up earlier.
No, Drew, you can't win the contest for burning.
Yes, you can. Burn it. Burn it.
Only if you shoot it live. No, that would be bad.
He went to Cologne.
Cologne.
Cologne. The goats. They were my logo when I was living in the boonies when we had the little goat farm.
Anthony Modek.
Ultimate Team. Yeah.
I wonder if him and freaking Ashley Barnes hang out. They have kind of like the same celebration.
Yeah. Maybe they're kicking it.
Are they kicking it stateside?
Not anymore.
We won't allow you in the country, and that's probably for a good thing.
Yeah, you don't. Why would anybody want to come here right now anyway?
You're right.
Yeah, I want to go there. Will they take me?
They're like, nah, dude.
I promise I'll quarantine.
I promise. West Brom on the board. Who is it? Pereira?
Oh, it is Pereira.
It is Matheus Pereira.
It is Pereira. Wow, somebody does want to win this game.
He's actually, ever since he got suspended, he's actually been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the kid was dominant last year in the championship. He's the whole reason West Brom even got out of there and back into the Prem.
Right.
So he helped carry that team last year. So it's good to see him scoring. That would be big because that would jump them. If they can get this win, they would jump over Fulham. That would put them at 14 and Fulham still at 13. Where West Brom's going to get really hurt right now is – I did not even realize this. I thought this was a misprint. I had to double-check this. They are minus 33 goals.
That's brutal.
Like, it's one thing to be at the bottom of the table and be struggling, but minus 33 goals is just, I mean, comparably, even as bad as Sheffield's been, they're only minus 21. So, I mean, that's like a whole another team's season
That's
worth of negative goal differential. So that could be that's really hurtful when you're looking at tiebreakers late in a year, and with some other teams getting some points and pulling away. Like that Newcastle win was huge for them today. That moved them up to 19 points. So from 16 to 18, there's a 6-point gap right now. And if Fulham doesn't grab any points out of this, actually it'll be 5 with West Brom. But yeah,
I think Fulham will go down
a
anyway.
monstrous win for Newcastle.
I think Fulham's done anyway. I there's nothing that is like, yeah, they are a great Premier League side.
Dude, they showed up for one game against Brentford, a Brentford team that's just cursed to make it to the Prem. You know, they get to this playoff, 5 times now, and they've lost every single time.
The Joe Bryan game.
And Fulham gets 2 freaking goals from Joe Bryan. Like, it was just, they showed up on the right day, and they got here with a late run, and Nottingham shit in the bed, and Brentford shit in the bed. And, you know, they're just looking like a team that doesn't necessarily deserve to be up here right now.
I would have rather seen
and most likely will be. Yeah.
I would have rather see Brentford up. Maybe they don't sell Beirama to West Ham?
Yes, I believe so.
Because that's not a loan anymore. I think they made that permanent this week. That was another, I think, transfer.
Yeah, my dumbass, I just had up all the transfers, and I took them down. Hit the wrong button.
Of course.
Podolski, yes, I miss Podolski as well, Drew. Drew and I don't agree on a lot of things sometimes, but there are certain things that we heavily agree on, and that is one of them.
Like
Arsenal? And I'm still keeping my eye on this whole Podolski thing and Shittinati, and we can't allow that to happen. So just constantly send Lucas Podolski any type of social media you can, begging and pleading him not to play for Shittinati, please, ever. We'll go down and Norwich comes back up and relegated. And we're going to do the Norwich Fulham.
We're going to see the Canaries next year, baby. Let's go.
It's sure looking that way.
They've had a pretty good stranglehold on the championship.
So we're going to get some really strong mascots coming back next season.
Canaries.
We're going to get Canaries. We might be getting some Swans.
I hope so. Bring the birds all back.
You know, like
Brentford, the Bees.
Yeah. Watford, the Hornets.
Bournemouth is taking a slide, though. They've been on quite a shitty form.
The Cherries, you've heard it here, will not be a Premier League team next year. Let's just get that.
I would make
a
crazy prediction that they don't come back for a few 5, 6, 7 years.
It may be a while before we see Bournemouth again.
Hopefully not the Leeds situation, but
yeah, 16-year gap. But Norwich is at 54 points right now, so they are 7 points clear of Swansea. Watford's worked their way back up to third. They're sitting at 47 points with Reading hot on their tail. Another place that Aaron Long has been possibly linked to.
Yep.
So that, honestly,
he can start with Reading.
Right. I would rather see him go to Reading, start, maybe help them make a push to get into the Prem at this point, than go to Liverpool and just be there. I don't know how much time he's going to play at Liverpool. I don't even know if he is, honestly, like, as much as I love Aaron Long, I don't know if
that would
he's
be crazy
at that stage. Like, I would have, like, 2 years ago when he was just fresh off the Defender of the Year in the MLS was the time for him to get a shot. I don't know if he's Prem, especially because he hasn't been playing much.
That just seems like kind of an emergency situation for Liverpool, just in case They need some
Yeah,
rotation.
I would go with something a little bit more established, I think, than Aaron Long at this point. I think he's a better fit, for his career too, at Reading. Like you said, playing, getting some time with a team that's competing to do something.
Because you don't want these guys, especially if there's going to be a stoppage in the MLS, you don't want these guys to not be doing anything and just sitting around. You want to get some games, train, especially even the championship. It'd be great to see him train with Reading, even if he doesn't get many games in. I mean, just to get out there and experience, life in England, see how things work.
Yeah.
We need the posh to break into the championship.
Middlesbrough's making a little push too. They're still in the they're in that top 6, top 7, and they just picked up one of my fan favorites, FIFA favorites, Mr. Yannick Bolasie from Everton.
Oh God.
In a little loan to help them make a push. So I like to see these championship clubs, taking these loans out on some of these guys, trying to make these last minute pushes for an opportunity just to make it to the Prem, to probably relinquish the loan back, not buy anybody, and find their way back down to the championship the next year. But it's all right.
I don't know. I would rather not see Watford back up, to be honest. I'm kind of sick of Watford.
Yeah, we all know you do not want Watford.
I would rather not see Watford up. I would rather see a Swansea or a Brentford, especially if Jordan Morris does well. Maybe they buy him.
Yeah. I just want to see Troy Deeney back in the Premier League. It doesn't have to be with Watford, but he doesn't need to be playing down there.
No,
need you back, Troy.
He's like 30. He's on the other side of.
I don't
30.
care. He's my third Ultimate Team striker on every Premier League Ultimate Team I make, and
tough.
his chemistry's fucked up right now because he only gets the English chemistry. He doesn't get the Premier League chemistry for me, and I can't run him out there. So
that's upsetting.
I need him in the Prem. I gotta have Troy in there.
Troy Deeney. The league's better with Troy in it.
When I play, I get low-level squad battle games. I need Troy Deeney in there just scoring.
So before we move on, time to get real with everybody real quick. Another new sponsor we got here at A2D Radio. Obviously, we've talked about this a little bit last week. 2020 was a tough year for, I know, a lot of people. Suicide rates were up. Domestic violence is up. Everybody's locked down inside. Frustrated, I know. Trust me, everybody knows. Everybody knows probably somebody that's been affected in some way with, mental health or addiction. We here at A2D Radio support it. The Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox is our new sponsorship here at A2D Radio. And we said,
need any mental health therapy, addiction detox, anything, just somebody to talk to. We never want to I want to go back to where we talk about, and I never want to make it a joke. Adam and I always say, we talk each other off the ledge. That's an old sports additive when things are going bad. But in reality, there's things in life that really do put people on that edge of life, and there's help out there.
Of course, we always say, if you want to talk, if you want to talk soccer, come to us. If you want to talk life, if you want to do anything, you can always personal message Brian or I, even on Facebook, Instagram, anything.
Yeah, man.
Love to talk. We've all been there. We've all had bad days. We've all had the good days. It happens. We're human.
Yeah.
And, the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox, they'll get you the help you need if you need it. You can call them 856-651-8117 and tell them Tom from A2D sent you. Again, I know it's not very easy to talk about. Trust me, we all know that. But the big thing is you're not alone. If you're feeling that way, there's a lot of people out there. It's been, people think it's very taboo to talk about it. Or as a man, you're not manly enough because you don't admit, you suffer from maybe a little depression or anxiety or whatever. I have anxiety. It happens. I admit it. This shit it's tough, but you always have a place to go to at sunrise, and you always have a home and a fam here with your A2D fam. So
you know it.
But yeah, that was our serious moment of the show.
You got to get serious every once in a while.
Hey, Drew, Fulham just says, wait a tick.
We do.
Ivan Cavallero.
Right?
Ties it up.
Just talking about how nobody wanted to win this thing, and then
for the Cottagers.
Sure enough. Yeah. Not able to sit on this lead.
Which is a problem with both teams.
Yeah, it's big.
See it out. See these games out. This is it.
Like moments like this is what's really going to cost a team like West Brom. We just talked about how negative that goal differential was. This is a team that is in your wheelhouse of a team that you can beat. You're at home. You get a 2-1 lead late in this game, and you can't find a way to sit on it against a team like Fulham. I mean, that tells you everything you need right now. I mean, obviously, there's 10 minutes left. Anything can happen. They could even go on to lose this thing. So West Brom is just not a good team. I think they're one of an easy candidate to be going down as well. And once again, I'll just remind Big Sam again before he starts throwing people's names in their mouth about relegation to take a look in the mirror because you suck.
I feel like Big Sam has almost jumped Shit Natty as your public enemy number one.
I mean, come on. You want to sit there and you want to call out Arsenal and you want to talk relegation for Arsenal for no reason just because you had an upcoming fixture with them. You could have avoided that question. You could have walked your way around that question, but you answered it. And you wanted to answer it with, you thought they were in the same class as you, and they're not.
No.
Not even close.
Big Sam, the relegation.
You've allowed 33 goals in 20 games. Shut your mouth.
Shut your big fat mouth.
Actually, you've allowed more than that. You're negative 33 goals in 20 games, which is even worse.
So we're going to make shirts up here at HPD. Don't go stealing this idea. It's just going to be Big Sam's face with just a X through it.
An X through it? I'm fine with that. Shut your mouth.
And it'll say, shut your mouth or see these hands, Big Sam, on the back. Come see the hands. They're quick.
City still can't shut this one down. It's only a 1-0 lead here. 84th minute. So Sheffield is sticking around.
Hey, the Blades have won 4 out of 5 of their last 5 in all comps.
In all comps, yeah. They still have 8 points. They still have 8 points.
Don't let them get hot.
Yeah.
Don't let the Blades get hot.
Not that I want to mention today's enemy, but, we've talked about transfers. One of the transfers that I told you actually worried me a little bit was this kid, Diallo, going to United. And Diallo scores his first goal for the United U23 team. So,
woo. I saw that.
Xhaka out. What is that? Is that like he's out today? Like, or you want him out? Where are we at here? Because I think
that's a cry for he wants him out of the club.
I was waiting for a lineup.
Chalk it out.
There's been a lot of cries. Okay, so here we go. Xhaka is in as far as the lineup is concerned. So I like it.
Eat shit.
I like it. I like it. But this is the lineup that, I mean, obviously he provides nothing to the squad. You can't say that. Am I?
What do you mean? He's a great captain.
Have I been out on Xhaka since he ripped off the captaincy? Yes. As a whole,
Rightfully
yes.
so.
There's two things Xhaka provides at the moment. Really good long-distance free kicks. And he's a healthy body.
Stability.
He's a healthy body. That's it. And he's been around the team, and he understands the Arsenal way. I will give him that, as big of a crybaby as he's been. But he is in the starting 11 today.
He knows the Europa League better than anybody.
Yeah. He knows his way around the Europa League. So thanks. Thanks for that one. The 11 is what I thought the 11 would be. Tierney's out again, unfortunately. He was. There was talks this morning. They got to get this kid healthy, man, because he is such a catalyst. So we are going to see David Luiz today.
Yikes!
We are going to see Cedric again, starting at left back, which I'm okay with. I love Cedric. I actually like Cedric at the right back. I've been very vocal. That I would like Bellerin to leave as Drew's coming here. Anthony Maitland-Niles, is he gone before the window?
I heard that.
There's a lot of talk about it. I don't want it to happen. I love Bellerin from the history that he's brought, that he has at Arsenal.
Let him go.
He's only 25, 26 years old. He can go. I'm okay with Bellerin going. I like Cedric. I like Maitland-Niles as an interchangeable pieces there. I don't want Maitland-Niles to leave. I like what he brings to this team. I like his potential of being a solid right wing back with Kearney on the left side.
You want Ainsley Maitland-Niles to be your future?
I want Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold, and we have Andy Robertson's backup, and I think that Ansley has the opportunity to back up TAA in England, and I think he has the opportunity. I think at that position. What other? There's not a lot of other right backs that are really pushing anymore. Kieran Trippier is kind of falling out of favor.
Reece James.
I only have one nice thing to. We got to talk, and we'll talk about that today too, because unfortunately that name brings some bad shit that happened again, and we'll deal with that later. But your boys, some of your supporters are in the red this week.
Oh yeah, for
going after
some misinformation as well.
Yeah, and United supporters as well. This is again recent, but we'll get to that in our
and West Brom too. If you haven't seen that,
and
today.
West Brom, and unfortunately, so Saka's getting rested. We will see Martinelli today, so I'm cool with that. Laka, Smith Rowe is starting, which we called for. Pepe, who's been in good form. Tomas, who's been in good form. My buddy Rob Holding, who's played well of recently. He has, dude. You can't deny the fact that Rob Holding has probably been the most consistent center back for Arsenal through all of this. Whatever Arteta has done or told him, he has done the right thing so far with Rob Holding, and I'm very happy about it. He's gotten the most out of him that any coach has in the last few years. So, Callum Chambers is my buddy Callum Chambers is fitting in the 20. Can't say 18. We're in the 20. Odegaard is in the 20. He's in the 20.
Let's go.
Will we see him today? I don't know. But it's nice to see.
Saka
I got to update.
Not on the bench, correct?
Saka's not on the bench. It's full rest. Your boy William's on the bench.
My boy.
Eddie's on the bench.
It's your boy.
Willock's on the bench. Ansley's on the bench. Runerson is on the bench. I'm surprised that it was not Matt Ryan.
They should just loan out Runerson.
I think that's the plan. Maybe that's why he's on the bench today. I don't know. Just to get some eyeballs on him. I think the plan is Runerson is They're trying to get him out on a loan.
Get him some games, man.
He's not as young as I thought, though. He's like mid-20s. I thought he was younger than that. So
goalies,
I like the veteran
pace.
Yeah, I mean, I like the veteran of having Matt Ryan there. You know, he's a international keeper. He's been Australia's keeper now for a few years. He wasn't what was holding Brighton back by any means. He helped Brighton, you know, for times last year kind of stay afloat. So I don't know if he maybe got a knock or something, or if they're planning to maybe use him in Europa. As a possibility as well. So maybe that's why he was left out. If anybody else knows, I'm welcome to. According to Google, Saka is not even on the bench. Saka, no, true, that is true. He's getting rest.
Rest him for Wolves. There you go.
Yeah, but you know what? You're not there every day, and we say that all the time. You know, we're not in these locker rooms. We don't know. We don't want to push that kid. That kid is such a bright future. If he's got a knock or something, I mean, obviously you want guys playing through things, but you need to see what Martinelli's doing too. Martinelli has been a very good player for this team, and he's looked a little out of form. Right, and the last time he played, when he played in that FA Cup game, he was out of form against Southampton. So he needs to get some form. Willian should be on the street, yes.
He belongs to the streets.
Drew stated that earlier, like, Willian being there is just holding guys back. Like, there's no point in Willian being there.
See, in the beginning of the season, you were saying what a great pickup he was.
That's because he was actually playing. And it was, you know, it was nice to have that veteran leadership, but now we've found it in other places. Like, I'd rather have all the leadership. I think at some point Thomas becomes our captain, and I love Aubameyang, and I love the fact that he's kind of run with the captaincy. But, like, I would love Thomas Partey to be the captain of this team, because a lot of people don't realize, like, he's a footballer, man. I have a friend who's from Ghana, and when he plays for the Ghana national team, Thomas, he plays center back. He goes where he's needed. He's so talented that he's like, hey, you know, like, I'm doing my Ghana national team a better service by moving my position and playing center back, because he's that good. He's clearly the best defender on that national team.
I would say,
so, like, he's just a footballer, man, and I think he's a leader, and I think over time you will see, and I think at some point maybe he grabs that, especially if anything did happen and Oba left, you know.
He will leave soon enough.
Yeah, I know. You know, I have mixed feelings about it, but
got to change the guard.
Yeah, hey, again, if it means him leaving and Odegaard gets signed and Haaland comes in to join his Norwegian brother, I mean, I'm all for it. So
what a dream that would be, huh?
Yeah, I'm just FIFAing up life. We're just they say talk it into existence. You talk about it, maybe it happens. So
I wouldn't put anything past that if it happens.
Yeah.
Whoa! Christopher going up and giving a big.
Not an Arteta fan, I see. Well, you and I will, I guess, respectfully disagree on.
Can I ask Christopher this? And I'm a Chelsea
fan. The future of Arsenal.
I could care less about who the coach is, but Christopher, if you fire Arteta, who would you want? Who's like your dream guy to replace him?
Thank you.
I'm just curious.
That's what I want to know. I'm with you, bro.
And this isn't like a shot. I could care less. I just am actually seriously interested to see.
That's what I want to know for all the Arsenal groups that I'm in. For, you know, the ones that are split, the ones that 1 year in, just over 1 calendar year in, with COVID, with a whole bunch of, you know, some bad contracts that were inherited and not being able to fully pick his team off the jump and all that. Like you said, who are you going to get? Who are you going to get?
Would Simeone really want to do that?
You want to talk about lack of offensive? You're going to get more offensive prowess from an Arteta coach team at some point, once he finally gets, his full core together, than you're ever going to get from a Simeone team. Simeone's just sitting there wasting João Felix. Don't get me started on.
I think you should have Didi be the coach.
Didi. Good. Yes, Zach. I'm with you. The Phillies 100% need to bring back Didi Gregorius. But again, we are not on that show. Our show is about...
I think you should bring Didi in for the Arsenal job.
Yes.
Simeone.
No, really.
Simeone's like another Jose. Would you want that? I wouldn't.
No.
It's only fun for like a year, and then it gets really old. His antics.
And if I ever am going to root for a team in Spain, it is usually Atletico. But I don't want that here. Like that's no.
Shut it down.
Arteta. I'm okay with Arteta. Again, I want him to get some offensive help. Patrick Vieira still doesn't have a job since, the last one. I'm still in favor of bringing him back with the club and kind of making him your quote unquote, for American footballers, your offensive coordinator for the Arsenal side, and let Arteta handle the defensive, because clearly that's his specialty.
That's fair. You're allowed to mix in a comment every once in a while, Eddie. I don't.
Oh, no, he did. That's okay. You're welcome to throw that to me. That's the one team that we have in common, Eddie. So, if Didi's re-signed, that's fantastic. Great news. Awesome.
Defensive, Diego. Yeah, he'll bring over Koke.
Yeah, come on.
Maybe Thomas Lamar sitting on the bench.
I do like Thomas. If you're bringing João Felix, then bring Simeone. That's fine. But if you're not bringing João Felix, then you can stay in Spain.
That little pussy.
And I wouldn't want him anyway because he doesn't play João Felix. He never plays João Felix.
João Felix is a little baby back bitch.
Oh, stop!
He's
gonna be a stud.
He's a fucking complainer and a half, dude. Every game he's crying like a little baby. Grow the fuck up.
He's a kid.
Grow up.
He will.
You'll never live in Ronaldo. You'll always be under Ronaldo. Never live up to that.
Yeah, well,
even though Ronaldo can cry too a lot, but still.
Yeah, Ronaldo cried for 20 years. What are you talking about?
Talk the talk, walk the walk. Fucking play ball. Stop crying.
I didn't go back and look at United's lineup. Let's look at what they're working with. So, okay, so they earlier this morning, I think it was Robbie Earle asked for it, and I guess he got what he asked for. It looks like they are starting Cavani. Rashford's moving out to the wing, to the outside with McTominay.
Mason?
Fred's in there, Pogba, Bruno, Wan-Bissaka, your boy Lindelof, Shaw, Maguire. And the one saving grace is we get don't have to face Dean Henderson, and we get to go against David De Gea today. So I would love to see a nice David De Gea blunder lead to a Lacazette goal. And let's go Gunners, baby.
If Upamecano goes to Bayern, I'm not watching the Bundesliga ever again, Lord Walker.
It's gone.
Never again. Is
that only a comment because he really wants him to come to Liverpool? Like, is that what that was? I love him too. I would. That's a guy I would love to come to the Prem. I think he is a great defender, a really good young defender. But it's going to be hard to keep him out of Bayern's hands, especially with Boateng getting older and Alaba's future in question. Bayern needs that next one, and they're Bayern.
Yeah, Nicolas Sula sucks.
Oh, yeah, I'd be hating on my man Sula.
Overrated. I'm not mad at all.
How's your boy Hummels still like an 87 in FIFA, by the way?
Oh, they let up an early goal today, and I almost lost my shit.
Yeah, they went down to Augsburg 1-0 in the 10th minute, but they got the 3-1 win. It's over. Bayern did get their 4-1 win. Speaking of Boateng, he scored. Thomas scored. Lev scored, of course, and always back at it. He got cold for a while, but Serge did score the fourth one. So
I was gonna say you haven't heard much from Serge in a little bit.
Hype says Odegaard should start over Martinelli. Absolutely not. First of all, Odegaard, I don't want him anywhere near a wing position. Odegaard is best suited in the middle right now. That is still Smith Rowe's spot. He's earned it. He's been there during this hot run, so you got to let the hot form continue. Martinelli needs that time on the wing. Odegaard, like one of the guys said,
midfielder, or is he a holding midfielder?
Odegaard. He's a 10. He's wearing the 11, but he's a 10. I mean, especially in this setup, I would see him in that 10 spot, and then Thomas and either El Nehi or Xhaka as your other two. I like the way they're running this. I like Arteta's form right now with it's kind of a 4-4-1-1 almost, with like Laka up top. And then you got your 10 there, and then you have your other 4 midfielders. You have it's not even a winger; it's more Martinelli and Pepe are right and left midfielders, with Xhaka and Thomas as your two kind of CDMs / regular cams, and then you have your back line. So I like it.
Why is he starting Saka, or why isn't he for a big game like this?
He's got to be knocked. I'm telling you, there's got to be a knock there.
He's got to be pretty knocked to not play in this game.
The kid's been playing. The kid has been playing a lot. You can't. He is the future. He is a key piece to the future of this team. And if there is any question about his health at all at this point, where you're still sitting, you're not fighting for a top 4 spot right now.
Yeah,
you're not. You're not in a big game. You got a big game coming up soon against Benfica. You have a really tough competition in Europa coming up that I've actually, before this turn of form, my Arsenal fan base that's listening to me, you might be mad at me, but I've said it on previous shows. I don't expect Arsenal to come out of this, in Europa, honestly. Benfica's actually a pretty good team, and they weren't playing well. I wasn't expecting them to advance past them. But now my hopes obviously have turned around because the team has turned around. And if you need to rest Saka for that coming up in a little while, I'm okay with that. I'm actually going to look. When is that? That's got to be coming up soon.
I know the Champions League's coming back in like Valentine's Day-ish, like February.
Yeah, so we have a game. We have a game on the 2nd with Wolves on the road. We go on the road to Villa on the 6th, so a quick turnaround there. Then we're home against Leeds on the 14th, and then we got to play, which is Benfica and Arsenal are trying to work a neutral site for these games apparently. Okay. But we are the away team on the 18th of February. And then you turn right back on the 21st and have a home game against City. And then you play on the 25th against Benfica. And then again on the 28th against Leicester. So with that stretch coming up, I know this is United, but you got to pick and choose. Yeah, these guys can't play everything. It's not only a packed February. That's competition. That's a bunch of top 10, top 5 teams.
Yeah.
Plus a really good team in Europe that you're playing against. So
yeah, you got to get him ready. You got to get him ready for this big stretch of February. And again, if he's got the hip injury, why force him and run him out there and he gets hurt, even worse, and then you're missing him for a month and he misses the whole time.
You can't have that. You need him for part of that stretch in February. So.
Lord Walker, we talked about this before. When the Bundesliga teams stop selling their best players to Bayern, things will just never change if that never happens.
No one says you have to.
And no one says that they must have the fucking league under, hypnotized or some shit.
They're still getting their ESPN Plus contract. I still get to watch my Bayern. It's just warm up.
Until that day happens, it'll never change, it's
a lot of friendlies for Champions League. That's all. Bayern gets a lot of extra friendlies. Sorry.
Eddie chiming in with his damn Rangers. Celtic lost. Rangers can clinch before. Have they lost in the league yet or at all this year?
They finally lost a game. I'm pretty sure they lost a game.
They lost to Motherwell.
Their streak did end, but there's hottest team in Europe. Eddie's Rangers. Good for Eddie. Chelsea sucks.
Hey, you know
Eddie,
what?
was it worth it? Are you happy trading it? All this Ranger success for a $260 million ninth place? Is it worth it to you?
I bet Rangers could beat this Chelsea team right now. I believe that.
It was a league. I knew it wasn't in. It was a League Cup tie. Only 1-0, but yeah, they've been great.
Eddie sold his soul for his Rangers to win the title.
I mean, you do realize that Chelsea and Arsenal are tied in points, right?
It's sad days.
Like,
There's no question there, man. It's bad.
Not that I'm not trying to rile you up or anything, but
It's just God.
I just wanted to put that out there. I'm sitting here staring at the table right now, and
It just is circling back around. It's like the firing of Frank Lampard was not the issue, the number one main issue in my eyes.
It might have been an issue, but again,
but
he was put in a bad spot.
You can't win games if you don't score. Just facts. But maybe not a good motivator. Whatever. It is what it is.
You know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to yell at you. I feel like it's your fault because you picked Saka as our cover photo for today's show.
I did.
And he goes out with it, and now he's out with a knock. Thanks.
Bad juju.
Yeah. Everybody blame Arsenal. Everybody blame Adam.
If you lose. If you win, you could thank me.
That's true. Yeah. If Martinelli scores 2 today and we win, then
I really think you win. Circling back to the poll, I really think Arsenal.
Back to the poll.
I really think you can. You're playing actually very well.
They are, and I'm just I'm trying not to be pessimistic. I'm trying to stay on this optimism of where this team is, and I hope I don't want that letdown. I'm trying not to get too high yet before today's game because the old ticker,
It's happened before when you get excited and they let you down.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been pretty impressive so far. I mean, Smith Rowe's been a shining light to the whole team.
Yeah. Missing Tierney today is going to hurt. I'm going to call that today. Obviously missing Obo, missing Saka hurts, but I feel like missing Tierney is anytime he's been out of recent, it's been a little bit harder, but
hey, maybe
I like what said.
Maybe Arsenal can sell off Oba and bring in, speaking of Eddie's Scottish League, bring in Celtic striker Edson Edouard.
Hey.
Edson Edouard.
We'll have a lot of money left over.
Bring that big man in.
I'm not ready. I don't know, man. I'm not.
I'm not ready to move from Oba.
I was ready. I was ready before they signed him. Then they signed him, and I was like, okay, well, you signed him, so I got to ride with him because that's my guy now.
It's my dude.
And then obviously, I'll go out and I'm one we talk about again mental health. I will with what we've found out now, I will give him a pass on the first half of this season and the lack of production because. When things like that are really going on with you and in your personal life and, as close as it seems that he is with his family and his mom, for him to have that in the background and to be struggling with that, I get it.
That's tough.
I don't think it has anything probably to do I don't think it has to do with getting paid. I don't think it has to do with anything other than that at this point. And, I'll give him a pass, and I hope the rest of the team responds and steps up for their captain. That's the biggest thing. You know, that's what you want to see. You want to see all these guys gather around and be like, yo, we got to do this for our captain. He's struggling with some stuff right now, and we got to continue to carry this team. Because if they can continue to improve like they have, and then you get Aubameyang back in form, watch out. I mean, yeah, then I'll be really optimistic. Go on a nice run in that February stretch that we talked about right there. I'll be pretty pumped up. And what up, Rachel?
Yeah, Rachel Blaze checking in. Check out Rachel's show
coming at you
Friday night on A2D. It's fantastic.
It is. I was watching it last night.
Oh, I've seen this. I see Lord.
I saw you smirk, and then I knew.
An 18th month contract for a coach is a suspect. Roman gets plenty of love for spending his money freely, but he is not a good owner when it comes to Chelsea. Oh, of course.
Oh, he stabbed a Chelsea legend in his back. That's what he did by firing Frank Lampard.
I mean, how many coaches have Chelsea had throughout the years? You could just go down a list. There's like 10 of them.
Since he's been there?
It's been a lot. And they don't last very long. I think a year and a half.
Rafa's available when Tuchel fails.
Yeah, Rafa. Bring him back.
Rafa just became available again, I think.
Fuck, bring back Avram Grant.
Yeah.
Bring back Goose Hiddink. I'll go down the list. Robbie Di Matteo. I'm sure he's a free agent. That piece of shit. He would be great.
Oh, man.
Roman is an asshat. His power is, big power trip guy.
I was really hoping you guys would have got Silva. Could you imagine if they replaced Frank Lampard with Silva? What would you have done? Like, at least Tuchel could be respectable. Like, you look at the Tuchel movie and you're like, okay, I kind of get it.
Would I have to throw my Chelsea fandom away if they had Marco Silva?
Yeah.
I think I would.
If Marco Silva ever coaches any team that I support, I will not support them in that 6 months that he's there, because it's not going to last long anyway.
Brian,
so.
I would rather have Hayden Mullins coach Chelsea than Marco Silva.
I think you would actually really like to have Hayden Mullins coach Chelsea.
I would have Jordy Morris, the right-hand man for Chelsea, coach.
Yeah.
Literally anybody except that motherfucker. But yes, thanks, Lord Walker. Always riling me up like that.
Yeah.
I know it's a shitty thing, but it only makes people upset because Frank Lampard is such a legend at Chelsea as a player. There's so many people that are just so torn to see him leave, and the way he did it, and not, dude. They've barely had a full complement of the roster. Pulisic's been hurt. Ziyech's been hurt.
He was never given a chance.
And like Lord Walker says, he likes the shiny new toy. Granted, it was maybe getting a little stale. And maybe it's some of the things he was putting people out of position, but what else? What other choice did he have? That's who he was given. It's basically Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard was the fall guy. Yeah, of course. Just like there was a fall guy, and the city. There's a lot of fall guys in the city of Philadelphia. I was going to say that. I know all too well in the coaching ranks. Yeah, this city's filled with fall guys of recent. So I know any Philadelphia market fan should know all about what a fall guy coach looks like. With a power tripped owner that knows nothing, apparently. And that's what I don't want Arsenal fans doing with Arteta. It's not fair to him. What he has done as a whole since coming in there has been better than anything else, like you said, Adam, earlier. What else? Who are you going to go get? Well, I don't want a Rafa. I don't want one of those old recycled guys. I want this guy. I want to give him a chance. He's won a little bit. He's won some games that no one else has won for Arsenal in a long time. He went to Anfield and won a game this year. He's went to Old Trafford and won a game this year. He's won a couple trophies, albeit they're nothing,
of great significance. But hey, I'll take another FA Cup. Even though what I said about the FA Cup earlier in last week, like he still got one. He's still got a Community Shield. Like they're producing.
Again,
He's gotta
give him some time.
Yeah, give him some time. Give him some of his players.
Soccer,
let the David Luiz contract run out. Let's get another real defender in here to pair with somebody.
Soccer is such a quick trigger on coaches. It's not even funny.
It is. It's really hard. People don't realize how hard it is to build it up too, and like get everybody that you need going.
I mean, I don't know. It's the coaching carousel. It's going to get even better pretty soon when Jurgen Löw gets fired from the German job and Jurgen Klopp takes over the Germany job, and then Julian Nagelsmann takes over Liverpool, or Stevie G.
Or Tuchel does really well with Chelsea, and then he gets the German job.
And then Rafa goes to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Or Julian Nagelsmann. Get another German guy in there.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. That's the beauty of this game, the coaching carousel. There's always something.
While we have Lord Walker on the on right now, I just was reading, it appears that the Leipzig-Liverpool could be in doubt as Germany bans UK travel.
Oh.
So, again, maybe they're going to look for a neutral site as well, that like Arsenal and Benfica have been doing. But I guess with some of the spikes in the UK, these Premier League teams in European competitions are going to have to do some figuring out. So we'll keep an eye on that and see. But that game was scheduled, it looks like, for February 16th. And it looks like all flights are banned from the UK until February 17th. So something's going to have to be figured out there. Either it's going to have to get pushed back, or they might have to figure out some kind of neutral site or something.
That's a pretty good segue into the last little thing I wanted to talk about with the World Cup sites, possibly.
Yes.
That we should hit on, but we got to get to one more sponsor before we do that. So we got another new sponsor recently, bodycheckwellness.com. A new wellness. All those people want to get in some shape. It's a pandemic.
Talk about getting your mind right. You got to get the body right too.
Right. It goes hand in hand. Look good, feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Know it.
Body Check Wellness. I believe they said Riley Cote, the former Flyer, is part of this. Did I hear that?
That is
right?
correct.
So that's pretty neat.
Correct.
So they're on board with us. We're on board with them. You could go to bodycheckwellness.com and get some supplements and whatnot. Hit in the promo code A2D for 20% off. Tell them the boys sent you.
Fantastic. Absolutely. We're all about A2D right now is getting everything right. You know, in a world of a little bit of turmoil right now, we got to get the mind right. We got to get the body right. And, we're trying to get this thing right. Speaking of getting things right, Sean Dyche is the longest tenured Premier League manager right now.
No shit.
Since taking over in 2012, going on 9 years at Turf Moor. So the Ginger Mourinho, Adam's buddy, whose job was in serious jeopardy early this year and still may be if Burnley can't find ways to continue to correct this. But he is currently the longest tenured Prem manager.
Well, would you look at that? Oh, there you go.
Your boy.
There you go. The Ginger Mourinho.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. I was answering Eddie's question. 15 minutes to kick off. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Drew, for chiming in. Hopefully see you next week.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. Definitely appreciate you. We're going to get you on one day. I need a little Arsenal backup one day. So
switching.
We were supposed to get Julio on today, and that's my bad for not relaying to you and getting that set up. So I will talk to him, maybe get him back on next week. I know he wanted to talk about Frank getting fired and all that. And I knew we were going to talk about it, but I also knew we weren't going to go too heavy on it with the Arsenal and United matchup this week and kind of with a heavy week of everything else that was going on. So
there's time
I kind of dropped the ball on getting him on, but we can get him on at any time. And there's always time to talk about how a disservice was done to Frank Lampard.
Yeah, we'll get Julio on. It's been a minute since we talked to Julio, so that'll be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, this news dropped 3 days ago. And for those of you that don't know, the U.S., Mexico, Canada are going to all try host the 2026 World Cup, Men's World Cup coming up here. And they dropped the names of the cities that have a potential to host said games. And if you don't mind, I'd like to run down the list.
Please do.
So we'll start in the U.S., alphabetical. We got Atlanta, Baltimore, Boston, Cincinnati, Dallas, Denver, Houston, Kansas City, LA, Miami, Nashville, MetLife Stadium, Orlando, Philly, San Francisco Bay Area, Santa Clara, that nonsense, Seattle, and DC for the U.S. Canada, Edmonton, Montreal, Toronto, and in Mexico, Guadalajara, Mexico City, and Monterrey.
It's fantastic.
And I was trying to think of what would be the good sites that actually make sense, not only from just stadium. You got to look at the other stuff too. Are there restaurants? Are there enough hotels in the city? Does it make sense?
MetLife. I mean,
MetLife's going to be one. MetLife would probably, I would say, maybe the semifinals or quarter.
Yeah, you have to get that New York metro area. You're not going to put it at Red Bull Arena.
I'm going to cross I would say a few off the list rather than on. I would say
Cincinnati. Bye-bye.
I would say Cincinnati out. I would say Baltimore.
Although they're getting that new stadium. But
it's going to be at a football. It's going to be at Paul Brown.
Yeah. It wouldn't. Oh, so it wouldn't even be at their new MLS stadium.
It depends on what they want to do with attendance. Do they want to fill?
That's true. Yeah. So Knicks Cincinnati.
I would say Knicks Baltimore. I don't think that would be one. I would say Atlanta definitely has the running.
Eddie would be disappointed.
Well, he's got Philly right up the road. They're gonna get
he can get there.
Philly will get a.
Philly's got to get it too. Philly's got to get it, man.
Can you imagine how awesome that would be?
Oh man, I would love to go to a World Cup game at the Link.
Absolutely.
It wouldn't even have to be U.S. Even if the U.S. got sent to the West Coast, I don't care. Anybody, just any two teams. That'd be great.
Philly's, I would say, is a pretty good bet. I would say Atlanta probably is a good bet.
Yeah, with that stadium, definitely.
I would say Dallas. Jerry Jones is probably going to be
Jerry's World is. Oh yeah.
The only thing that pisses me off is
field in there.
All these football stadiums are artificial turf and this next turf. You don't see a lot of grass stadiums.
Yeah. There's not much.
And they're going to put stupid grass sod over the top, and the ball's going to just be so slow. Unless they do where it's in soccer specific stadiums, but you're not going to hold as many people.
Right. Yeah. They're going to want to be able to put a 60, 70,000 attendance, not a 30,000 attendance.
Right.
So, yeah.
I would say Denver's probably out. I don't think Denver would win a bid. Houston might.
I just don't want to see all the same ones from World Cup '94. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like it's got to get
the major markets are going to get it, like New York, LA.
Of course, the major markets are going to get it, but we also talk about too, you and I, in the past, where we need to get it more, a few markets more centralized in America to where when we have a home game, we're not the away team.
Right. Well, that's why they're gonna throw the U.S. in like Kansas City where they've been successful.
Right. Because you put U.S. up against a lot of countries in a market like Los Angeles or New York, and you're going to get people that support that country. As you get outnumbered in those games. There's a lot of times where we've seen games where we're like, are we really playing on U.S. soil right now? Because it seems like
Well, New York would be the same way though too.
Oh yeah, no, I don't disagree, and that was that way during World Cup '94. When those games up at the old Giants Stadium, it was like heavy Argentinian fan base, heavy, you're gonna get that in those locations. It's great, but at the same time, like you want when the US is playing, you want it to seem like we're actually playing on home soil.
Yeah, you don't want to throw US in like Miami.
Yeah. Especially against a team like Mexico, if you're going to play a South American team, you don't want to put them in a heavy South American population.
Yeah, they'll be smart, but they probably can't help where they get drawn. But maybe not. Yeah. Maybe we'll have our hand in, like Lord Walker. FIFA just what do they got up their sleeve? Who are they paying off? Yeah, I need to read up more on this Super League nonsense and what's going on there. I haven't been like super duper up to date with this whole.
So basically, a long and short of it is this Super League that's trying to form is almost trying to do it not even in place of Champions League, but to be the league. So like they want all the teams that probably would be in Champions League, all the best teams around the world to come play in this one league. But it's not apparently sanctioned by UEFA or FIFA. So they've come out and said, sure, if your team joins that league, you can't play in anything sanctioned by us, which includes international play. So if your players are on one of those teams that plays in this Super League, then they are no longer eligible for anything FIFA related. So they're trying to control it, basically.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to do more more research on that.
It seemed cool until FIFA said this, and then it's like, oh, that can't happen because, guys aren't going to want to play for those clubs if they're not going to be eligible to play for their countries. Most guys want to – more guys will get up to play for their country than they will for their club anyway. So guys don't ever want to lose that ability. I feel like international play is more the pinnacle than anything. Like if you make your national team, that's the tops, even more than playing for a Liverpool, a Madrid, anything. Like you got to represent your country in a World Cup too, not even just like an Olympics or anything, like in a World Cup.
Yeah, there's no real higher honor than that. Yeah,
Tierney's knocked too, Chris. Tierney's knocked too. We're knocked right now. We're knocked. We got to get healthy. Gotta get healthy. We got to get a dub here. We got to get healthy.
Happens to everybody.
Yeah, man. Look at Lord Walker's Liverpool.
Devastation on the defense.
You got to get fit, man. You would think Lord Walker. You'd think Liverpool would have a Philadelphia training team right now.
Mr. Henry just asked the Philadelphia training guys over there. Yeah,
nobody. No care. There's a sense, a hint behind that. Go see Dr. Paul Vidal instead, because there's no care at NovaCare, because every Philly team that uses them is banged up and hurt. Go see the good doc. Hopefully he's not tied with NovaCare and I just did something really bad there.
Yeah.
But I don't think he is. I think he's an independent.
I think that's it. We'll send him over to Liverpool and get work done.
Trust me, I'll be getting a message from Tommy if I'm wrong in that one. But
like, you idiot, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
No,
I've never been reprimanded. He reprimanded me one time, and his reprimand to me was keep it up. And whatever I did that got people torqued up, he thought was as clever as I thought it was. So
keep being the control boy.
He's a good boss to have.
Oba, Pepe, and Saka. That's what you want, but it doesn't matter. Saka's.
That's what that was my dream when you look at this team, that's what you would love. A Pepe that played the way he played at Lille with Saka and Oba. Yeah, nobody's stopping us. But right now we don't have that, so we got to go with what we got. Pepe is getting the start. Martinelli's getting the start, and Laka's getting the start today up top. So there's goals there. Laka's got 8 goals. He's tied for 9th in the Premier League.
Yeah,
and 9th is because they consolidate positions. There's a bunch of guys tied. Just to run down that real quick, Salah's still leading with 13. It's Kane's got 12, Sonny's got 12, Bruno 11, Calvert-Lewin with 11, Jamie with 11, Bamford with 10, Zaha with 9, Laka with 8, Ollie Watkins with 8. That kind of rounds out your golden boot chase there. So
there you go. Lord Walker just reassuring it's going to be fine. We're getting a defender from the French league.
Oh, man. I lost your audio.
No.
Always. Always something. I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. I can't hear you.
I can hear you. I can hear you fine. That's okay.
There you are. There you are.
Oh.
There you are.
That's
you know what it
right.
is? It's when you have too many Apple products, apparently, like, every once in a while, Siri feels like she needs to step in and start talking and listening to me, and then everything goes silent, and I have to X her out, and sorry.
It's okay.
Siri, you're not part of the show.
It's the things we have to deal with,
Yeah. I was just thinking the other day how I do miss going to the studio. Like, this is nice, but it was just something about that whole allure of making that ride to the studio, getting pumped up for the show was kind of, hopefully we can get back in there one day.
I mean, hopefully it'd be nice. It'd be nice to even get together with some of the guys in A2D.
Yeah.
I still haven't even met in person.
Right.
I think we met Jake.
You know what we're gonna have to do when the weather gets nice and some of this crap gets behind us? We'll have to plan a Top Golf A2D event or something.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk to Tommy about that and get us all out there, hang out.
That's the plans. Hopefully.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Let's hope we get there.
I mean, hopefully we get to go out to Arizona and visit Lord Walker.
I would love. I'll go to Arizona right now, and then we'll go out to Vegas and visit Julio right after.
Easy.
We'll make a whole trip of this. It's cold. Let's go right now.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
I will hop on a plane.
I will.
Don't even care.
It. It's going to happen one of these days.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's going to happen. Hey, the Eagles play in Vegas next year. Just saying.
Hey, we'll figure that out. So I definitely want to kind of get off on time today. Obviously, with the game pending.
Oh
yeah. So as far as yellow card, red card, I mean, it's crazy that we are still here.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't even. I have the yellow card. I'm not even going to use it. By the way, I'm going out today. I'm going shopping. I'm going to get a new red card.
Ooh,
I feel like
nice.
I'm doing us a disservice. I'm going to get a nice new set of yellow card, red cards.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, man, we're still talking about it. Straight red, racism among the game, among everybody. I mean, in the world in general. But we talk about this being our safe place. You can come here and join us anytime. The game's supposed to be a safe place, and unfortunately, in the league we love the most, we've had 3 in a week now.
Yeah, serious.
And it's, it's a shame that we still have to keep bringing it up. And there's nothing more I can really say on it other than to the ones that said what they had to say or feel like they have to, Eddie was able to get some of the screenshots, I guess, of the Chelsea one and what was said to Reece James. And it's just ridiculous and uncalled for. So, yeah, straight red.
Yeah, I mean, that's well said. I think that was kind of our Reds, just straight red topic. The West Brom thing to Roman Soyas got abused this week online. Obviously, the Chelsea thing where there's some fake news that apparently Tony Rudiger behind the scenes was a bad teammate when he demanded to get a transfer out there and was an asshole in the locker room and on the training field and talking down to other guys. And Tammy Abraham came out and basically had his back and said, dude, that's BS. Like, Tony's a great teammate. And then Aspie came out, who's the team captain, was like, yeah, that's total BS. So, yeah, there's a lot of people out there that have agendas for whatever reason. I don't really know if it's just, it's ridiculous. But I thought we were on a good streak. We didn't really mention it too much. And then, of course, you get 3 in 1 week. That just brings it right back down. And it's still an issue, like you said, not just in soccer and the game, but, in life as a whole. We have to be better, and we have to figure out, there has to be some way that we can police it, not just in life, but especially in the game. Since we talk about soccer on this show, there has to be a way that some of these people, obviously you could say they get banned from stadiums and whatnot, and I don't want to make this long-winded because I know we want to watch the game, but it's got to stop. I know we sound like broken records, because it comes up, ever since we've been doing this show, it comes up all the time, but they just have to find a way to crack down. And if it's happening, in the seats, you got to make an example of some of these guys, or it's going to keep happening. That's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing with the socials. It's like it's hard to regulate everybody with the world that we live in, but they gotta continue to try and do a better job, like you said. And yes, Lord Walker, that was actually gonna be my red. But
really, McKinney's house?
Yeah. So basically, they said they think it was premeditated because it was during game time.
Oh,
so they probably knew like he was playing. So yeah, they hit McKinney's house and robbed him. Sounds like it was just, I say just, but clothes, some jewelry, stuff like that. Typical.
Jesus.
When you rob they're like, oh, this American's over here doing his thing, killing it in Italy football. So it was probably the same racist dudes that we talk about in that, that are making the racist chants in Italy football. We're like, oh yeah. So
I mean, Turin kind of makes sense. They believe it's in the northern part.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's
fucked up. I didn't know that.
Scumbag move. So, yeah, that came out early this morning. I was going to mention it earlier, and I got caught up and didn't. So I'm glad he threw that out there. But yeah, we can add that to the red card list as well.
Of course, it happens right to our own.
Yeah, man. So, all right, well,
yeah, let's stop it here. Again, good luck to your Arsenal boys. Hopefully they win and
thanks, man.
Beat the fucking Reds. Again, thank you guys, everybody. Lord Walker, Christopher chiming in this week. Drew with great feedback again. Nice to see some fresh faces. Eddie, of course. Rachel chiming in. Great of her.
Yep. All the A2D crew. Everybody.
Tommy, Hips,
Greg,
BTW. Zach with his DD Gregorius one. That was nice. Like that.
Hey, thanks for letting me know.
Andy, all the guys, Chuckser.
Yep. Hypes.
Of course. Thank you guys again. It's been good feedback today, and hopefully we'll try and get Julio on next week, and I'm sure he has some words just like myself for Sir Roman and Frankie. So, love you guys, and enjoy your weekend. Stay warm and go Gunners. And we'll see you guys next week. Same time, 10:30.
Love you, bro.
Later.